What's going on, everybody? C4 here today, starting the official draft grades breakdown as how you guys voted. You wanted me to do it by division, so we're starting tonight with the NFC East. Of course, that's where we're going to start, and then in the coming days, I'm not going to really ask you guys to suggest what order. We'll make it random, but I will do, ideally, 2 divisions a day. I know it's going to be kind of uneven because I'm just doing the NFC East tonight, but, you know, we'll make it work. We'll make it work. But stay tuned for the next coming days. Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday, we'll have draft grades for all the teams. That's the way you guys want to do it. I could have done just 2 long videos that came out today. You know, maybe some teams don't want to wait till Wednesday to hear what I feel about their drafts, but you guys want the more content, more videos to watch. So I'm going to go with that. So with the NFC East, we already kind of touched on the Philadelphia Eagles, so I'll go through that one quickly. They got BARNETT at pick 14, defensive end from Tennessee. I gave that a B-. They got Sidney Jones, the corner out of Washington, and if healthy, that's an A overall grade, who they got him in the 2nd round. In the 3rd round at pick 99, they got RASUL Douglas, the corner from West Virginia. I gave that a B+. In the 4th round, they got wide receiver MACK from North Carolina. I gave that a C. 4th round, 4th round pick 132. They selected the running back DONNEL from San Diego State. Gave that a C+ with some upside. 5th round pick 166. They got wide receiver SHELTON GIBSON from West Virginia. I gave that an A. 5th round 184. They got linebacker safety hybrid GERRY from Nebraska. I gave that a C with upside. And finishing out the draft in the 6th round, they got defensive tackle QUALLS from Washington, which gets a B+, as I thought that was tremendous value. He's a 4th round grade. Getting him in the 6th, very nice. We're not really going to talk about undrafted free agents for some teams because those still are piling in. But overall, for the Philadelphia Eagles, I gave them a B+, and it looks like around, you know, the NFL, it seems like a B+, A-, around that range. So it was overall a very good draft for the Philadelphia Eagles. Now I'm taking the painstaking task of grading the other teams in our division, the Washington Redskins, the New York Giants, and the Dallas Cowboys. It's going to be tough, but I'm not going to try to be biased because, like I said, even though I hate those teams, I dislike the fans, but I love the fans that come here and support me on Beast Mode TV and give it just as well as they can take it. And I like it personally when the Redskins, the Giants, and the Cowboys draft well because of one reason only. Obviously, I'd like them to suck at drafting, but if they draft well, it continues to raise the bar, and it makes the Philadelphia Eagles have to continue to up the ante and match the type of talent that everyone else is drafting within the division. And I think every team in the NFC East this week, this year, but this weekend, had a very good draft. So we're going to start right away with the Dallas Cowboys, since they were, you know, the big dogs in the NFC East last season. So in the 1st round, the Dallas Cowboys selected CHARLTON, the defensive end from Michigan. I'm giving that a B. I think there are some questions for concern about the work rate, and if personally, I don't think I would have gotten him at 28. I think he maybe be a 2nd round talent just because of the work rate issues, but the talent is there. Was a position of need, but I can't give it much more than a B as it stands right now. Pick 2, number 60, they got AWUZIE, the corner from Colorado. I'm giving that an A. That was a tremendous pick for a team that needed to improve their secondary vastly. You know, there's rumors, is Orlando Scandrick on the trade block or not, but I think AWUZIE is a guy that certainly can carve out a role on that defense, and that was a great pick. 3rd round pick 92, they got Jordan Lewis, the corner from Michigan, giving that a B. Obviously, you get the off-the-field concerns. I think he got like a domestic violence claim against him from some chick. You know, you never know how those things play out, but it was, you know, I don't think it's been resolved as of yet. But again, big-time playmaker. Didn't test particularly well at the combine, but still with a weak Dallas secondary, he should come in certainly and form for the future with AWUZIE and Anthony Brown, a formidable secondary for the Dallas Cowboys. In the 4th round pick 133, they got SWITZER, the wide receiver from North Carolina. I really like the prospect, but I had to kind of give this a C+, because it's not really a position of need and was slightly of a reach. I kind of had SWITZER as a late 5th round pick, but I get it. I think they clearly deem Cole Beasley in a very good slot receiver play really, really detrimental to the development of Dak Prescott. And if Cole Beasley went down, don't get me wrong, Cole Beasley's one of the top slot wide receivers in the NFL. But if he went down, I think a guy like SWITZER should be able to come in and fill that void without too much of a drop-off. But is Cole Beasley injury-prone? Doesn't seem like he's missed too many games in his career due to injury. So I think maybe this was slightly of a reach of a pick, which is why I give it a C+. But in terms of a player, it's probably in the low Bs. The 6th round pick 191, they got XAVIER Woods, this safety from LA Tech. C-. I personally thought that was, you know, I'm not a big fan of Xavier Woods, the wrestler, nor the player. And safety, I don't know. I guess it's clearly just a death move. He may be able to make the roster as a special teamer. With the second 6th round pick at 216, they got Marquez White, the corner from Florida State. I'm giving this a C. Another guy, just can't buy, nothing really special about him. But, I mean, it is kind of tough to throw grades to players here in the 6th and 7th rounds. They had 3 7-rounders with the first 7th round pick, 228. They took Joey Ivie from Florida. It's a C. I think that, you know, as a Gator fan, he's I thought he was going to go undrafted. It might be like a decent UDFA. They got him in the 7th round. I can't be too critical. It's not a bad pick. It's not a great pick. That's a C. The second 7th round pick 239. They got Noah Brown, the wide receiver from Ohio State. Giving that a B+. Lots of upside there. Everyone remembers Noah Brown. I'm pretty sure he was the dude that made the behind the back crazy catch. There's definitely upside, a project type player, but that's the kind of guys that I really like in the 7th round. So that was really good value. And their final pick in the 7th round, 246, they got Jordan Carroll, the defensive tackle from Washington. Solid prospect, nothing too special. Might have a chance of making that roster and be a part of that D-line rotation. So I'm just going to give it a C. Overall, the Cowboys draft was a B, and I think it should be no higher than a B+, no lower than a B-. Wasn't a spectacular draft. Not a big fan of CHARLTON, but it was a position in need, addressing the defensive end spot. But I really, really did like AWUZIE and Lewis in the middle rounds, especially AWUZIE. That was definitely the pick of the draft for the Dallas Cowboys for me. Not a bad draft from the division champs. Ew, that pays me to say. Next up, we have the New York Giants, who at pick 23 selected Evan Engram, the tight end slash just weapon from Ole Miss. I'm giving this a B. I feel like it was slight reach just because, you know, they really, really need a tight end. It's been forever since they have had a tight end. I felt more so Evan Engram was an early 2nd round pick, so it's not that big of a reach, but I can't give this really a B+, which is what I kind of would grade out at Evan Engram, just because I thought, you know, the Giants especially should have addressed offensive line earlier. I think a lot of people are in agreement with that. But he's, you know, whatever. I guess they're just going for the air raid approach. He should be a nice fit for them this season. Maybe I'm crapping on a little too much. It could very well be a B+, but it's in the B range. If you want to be negative against it, it's a B-. If you want to be super positive, it's going to be a B+. So I took the middle ground of a B. The 2nd round pick 55, they took DALVIN Tomlinson, the defensive tackle from Alabama. I'm giving this a C+. Again, I feel this was another reach. I think Tomlinson, for my money, was a 3rd round pick that they had to reach, trying to recoup what they lost in Jonathan Hankins on the defensive front. I get it, but I think there might have been some better prospects there. But it's never tough when you have to gamble on an Alabama defensive line prospect that played meaningful minutes for that program. So I would say it's a C+ with some upside. 3rd round pick 87, they selected Davis Webb, the quarterback from Cal. He's one of my favorite quarterbacks, my sleeper quarterback in this year's draft process. So I'm giving this a B+. Again, where's the offensive line? Where's the tackle play? But you're clearly, you know, thinking long-term behind Eli. Eli probably has no more, I would say, than 3 years left in the tank. So right around that time is when Davis Webb could be taking over the reins here in New York. I really do like that pick, as much as it pains me to say, but a B+ for there. The 4th round pick, 140, they got Wayne Gallman, the running back from Clemson. I'm giving that a C+. I mean, the more and more he tested, I like Wayne Gallman a lot more in tape than he tested. And, you know, he is really easy to critique, runs very, very high. But I think he certainly should be able to carve out a role there as the 3rd running back behind Paul Perkins and Shane Vereen there. So not a bad pick. 5th round, 167, they took Avery Moss, the defensive end from Youngstown State. Giving that a C. I don't know, he's going to be a guy that's got the fight to end up making the roster, but could very well get a part of the rotation or make contributions on special teams. And finishing up in the 6th round, pick 200, finally getting a tackle that I'm higher on than most, and that was Adam Bisnowadi, who will be most likely a right tackle from Pitt. I thought he was one of the better run-blocking tackles in the NFL, in college football last season, but you know, it's not really the run blocking sport, so you got to protect Eli Manning. And clearly, man, he has as good tape as he has his bad tape. Got absolutely abused at the Senior Bowl. But I give this a B. I think he's a solid tackle. It should certainly in that 6th round end up making the Giants' final roster. And overall, the Giants are getting a B- grade for me in this draft. Still, very solid draft class for the Giants. And finish up with the Washington Redskins, who in the 1st round at pick 17 selected Jonathan Allen, the defensive lineman. Probably will be definitely a defensive end for them out of Alabama. I'm giving that an A. Clearly, the injury was a concern for a lot of teams. That's why he slipped so far, because for me, I thought he was at least a top 10 talent. But I wouldn't give this an A+. If he was healthy and he's still there, I'd give it an A+. But because of the shoulder and all those teams passing on him, maybe there's more than meets the eye. But I really do like that prospect, and it pays me to say it. And he probably is the best defensive end now there in Washington. So that's an A. 2nd round pick 49, they got Ryan Anderson, the linebacker from Alabama. I'm only giving this a C, not necessarily for the prospect, but I think this was a pretty decent reach here for the Redskins. Ryan Anderson, in my view, and a lot of other people, was kind of a third-round grade talent, and they had to kind of reach him there. Pick 49. You tell me Ryan Anderson is a top 50 talent? I mean, there are some people that super value Alabama linebackers. There's some of us that, you know, kind of take it like they're on the evil playing field as everyone else. And I think Ryan Anderson, well, actually, I'm pretty sure I had mocked to the Eagles, so I'm not hating the prospect, but I had him mocked to us in the late, pick 99, not 49. So that's just a disagreement there, but I could totally see a different point of view on his evaluation. Third round pick 81, they got FABIAN, the corner from UCLA, given that a B+, kind of similar to what the Eagles got in Sidney Jones. Moreau's not nearly as refined as a prospect, but a great athlete that suffered injury, and there's injury concerns from his time at UCLA. So, you know, there are a little bit of risk with this pick, because he does seem to me like a guy that's always going to struggle staying healthy. But if they can get him out on the field, he's going to be a big-time playmaker. And, you know, I would say maybe near the end of the season could be trying to push Bashaud Beelan for some starting corner snaps. So that's a B+ all day long. Fourth round pick 114, they got SAMAJE PERINE, the running back from Oklahoma. Given that a B+, I tweeted out before in that round, I kind of want the Eagles to look at PERINE. I said the only team that might be able to get him is Washington. And what happened? The Washington Redskins got him, even though the presenter absolutely butchered his name. Maybe as bad as I've seen any human being in history butcher another human being's name. But that's a B+ there for the Redskins. Fourth round, pick 123, they got Monte Nicholson, defensive back from Michigan State. I thought this was a reach. I thought Nicholson was a guy, 7th round, undrafted free agent. They got him in the 4th, so this is a D, not a good pick at all. One of the worst, I thought probably the worst pick overall out of any pick in the NFC East. 5th round pick 154, they got Jeremy Sprinkle, the tight end from Arkansas. Give it a C+, definitely some upside with Sprinkle. Should, you know, maybe able to carve out a role. I'm not exactly sure what the future for now is. Paul Holes for the depth behind Jordan Reed, but I think there is some upside with Sprinkle. 6th round 199, they got Chase Roulier, the center from Wyoming. Give me this an A. He was one of my top centers, top 5 center in this year's draft class, and the fact that they were able to get him at 6, really deep undervaluing on the centers this year, like Tyler Orlovsky, who the Eagles got as an undrafted free agent. He was another guy that was in my top 5 centers, but I really do like that Roulier pick from the Redskins, so that's an A. 6th round 209, they got Robert Davis, the wide receiver from, you know, I think it's Georgia Southern. I think he's related to Thomas Davis. I give it a C+. Nice athlete, good solid prospect to develop. 7th round 230, they got Josh Harvey-Clemons, linebacker safety hybrid from Louisville, formerly of the Georgia Bulldogs. Giving that a C+, another guy, hybrid type, may want to look to use him. Kind of how they used Sua Cravens last season as a linebacker safety hybrid. I think that's solid upside. And finish out the draft in pick 235, they got Josh Housley, the corner from Auburn. Giving that a C. I know can't body, probably, you know, practice squad, probably best case scenario for him. So overall, the Washington Redskins get a B+, tied with the Philadelphia Eagles for the top. Personally, if I'm comparing the Redskins and the Eagles, I give Redskins the nod. So that, in rankings, goes to Washington Redskins number 1, Eagles number 2, Cowboys 3, and Giants 4. But overall, all strong drafts for all the teams in the NFC East. So there are my grades. Thank you guys for watching. On Monday, we'll be doing another division. Probably there's going to be 2 videos out on Monday, actually. So 2 divisions coming out on Monday. So hope you guys stay tuned for that. I don't know, maybe 100 likes on this video to let me know you guys are feeling and digging this series. Even though you may disagree with some of my evaluations, some of my grades, just getting a different point of view from your boy C4 here. I'm not, you know, paid by ESPN or NFL Network. Clearly, if you hate my grades, you're like, oh, this guy doesn't know damn thing about football. But yeah, back-to-back years, all teams really in the NFC East drafted fairly well to continue to establish the fact that the NFC East is the top division in the NFC. Thank you all for watching. Until next time, C4 saying peace out.